With covert narcissists, you have to be able to distinguish and discern between taking responsibility and assuming victim identity. They look the same because somebody can take on a guilty or shameful persona. A vulnerable victim type narcissist can reach a point of pitifulness and breakdown where they could admit things, where they could, you're right, I am this, I am that. And that may satisfy your emotional need for them to offer an admission, an acknowledgement of their toxic behaviors or something that they did or a failure. But you see, what you fail to see is that is the ultimate get out of jail free card, because what they're actually doing is they're just transferring their victimhood from you or something outside their past or anything like that, and they're placing it on themselves. When a covert narcissist becomes a victim to self, that's the ultimate get out of jail free card, because if they're that pitiful, that broken, that guilty, that shameful, they have literally created a scenario where they can never actually be held accountable. And so when you take that person back and they're on their knees and they're begging and they're making you feel sympathetic and they're whining about their trauma and you believed in me and this and that, trying to pull all your heartstrings, it's a complete manipulation. I will tell you, in my life, there have been vulnerable narcissists that I've known that have cheated and then been guilt-ridden. And they're Christians, and so they get eaten alive. And then they have to admit to their wife. But you see, they don't admit that out of any sense of compassion or responsibility. They do it to unload the burden. And then they feel okay about it by making the wife responsible for choosing to stay with them. Now, they can make all the future fake, the promises, work on myself, I'm going to go to therapy, I'm going to do all the right things. And this is why it's so confusing, is that these people don't appear like narcissists. Because everybody thinks narcissists gaslight and lie. Now, they all do lie, they gaslight, they do that stuff. But the vulnerable victim type can be quick to acknowledge and admit fault. You see, but in the world of blame, fault, guilt, shame, there is no responsibility. Responsibility is causality. When someone takes responsibility, they reestablish and reaffirm their power, that you're right, I did that. And they do it in a way that restores integrity and confidence. And so these types of people never restore integrity and confidence. They actually assume such a degree of pity that there would be no reasonable expectation for them to be any better. And so they force you to assume all responsibility, because if you tolerate and accept this man-child, you've signed off on it. You've accepted it. And you are going to pay the price. That person is going to become the worst burden you've ever felt in your life. They will betray you as well. They are the worst type of narcissist. The vulnerable victim, and especially the men, because they have deep mommy issues and they're going to punish you. They are going to punish you for all that trauma that they shared with you, that hate, those failures in life. They're going to be your fault, and they're going to use it to hurt you deeply. It doesn't matter if you have children, it doesn't matter what you invested. These people want vengeance for a lifetime of failure and misery, and you are going to be their next victim.